Well, Charles Barkley spoke recently about how he hasn't talked to Jordan in 10 years. So,
and he feels bad about that because it's his fault.
well, what he said was this. During one of his shows, he was critical of Jordan's abilities as a team owner and executive of the Charlotte Hornets. And he said, Michael's got to surround himself with better people, and I worry about him being successful. After he made those comments, Jordan called him, and he described it as a not pleasant conversation. And since then, they haven't spoken in 10 years. Barkley said, I thought it would blow over, to be honest with you. And he's stubborn, and I'm stubborn. And that's it.
Yeah, I interviewed Charles last year at Leaders and Legends, Tony La Russa's event. And we spoke on that last October. And he said, I made a mistake. I should not have said that about my friend. And Charles said, right there on stage, he was wrong for doing that. And going at Michael. And this is the deal. He understands Michael. He understands that when somebody, and everybody maybe should do it this way, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And Charles, to him, showed, once again, on television saying that he wasn't being a friend right there.
It's tough, man. It's like, media academics talk about this a lot, is that you have these relationships with people, and sometimes you have to talk about them on camera, right? And
Larry King didn't. Larry King was very particular if he was a friend of his.
Yeah.
He, like Oprah. Oprah's the same way. She didn't talk about Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, no, listen, I feel
you know what I'm saying? She's like, this is my friend. So she knew. He knew he was powerful. And I'm sure he didn't say, look what I'm doing to these women, Oprah. I know he kept that part to the side,
It's a line. And a lot of times, you have relationships go all over the place. You meet someone one time and they feel they have a relationship with you, and they do to a certain degree. There's other people that you have long-term relationships where they go to your house and they meet your family and so forth. Charles Barkley's point was that, listen, like, I can't really, if I'm criticizing, coaches and owners and something like that, I can't just, just because this guy's my friend, I can't just give him a pass when he's doing the same thing that I'm criticizing other people for. Ultimately, people have to respect your job and what it is that you do, and it's not personal, but it is a line, and I get it. There's certain people that I will not talk about negatively, even if they're doing something negative. But at some point, like a Pusha T situation, when, he just couldn't keep defending Kanye over and over again. And you have to say, hey, I'm not feeling it. And sometimes those conversations happen online and offline.
Yeah, Talib didn't feel it either. And he was cool with very cool with Kanye. He didn't feel the hat. He didn't like.
Oh, no, yeah. He spoke negatively about Kanye, the whole Trump thing and everything else like that. I mean, he did it on Vlad TV. I'm sure he's not feeling the direction he's going into now. And,
people change.
People change. People
But he should have had a
evolve,
conversation with Michael. Charles maybe should have had a conversation with Michael about what's going on. And then said, money, I'm going off about this, and this. Like those conversations happen, then you can have. But just to once again, not thinking.
Yeah.
Or not getting information first, and feeling that you have to give an answer right there. That's not the way it has to be.
Look, Michael was a special figure in everyone's lives. Allen Iverson did an interview recently where he said that his friends, he had his little crew of day one guys. They would make fun of him because they felt that he was a groupie around Michael Jordan, and he was like, "Yo, Jordan was my hero. Like, this is who I looked up to when I was in high school." With NBA dreams. He said he hated the Detroit Pistons because of Jordan.
I know.
Not because he actually hated the Detroit Pistons, but he hated the Detroit Pistons.
I know it. Have you
guys ever had this conversation?
No.
You and Iverson?
No, but I would always see like give you an example. I'm a huge LeBron fan, right? And every time I see LeBron, he's like this. He's looking at me like what's up? Not that I'm going to do anything. And I know it's nothing against anything I've ever done to LeBron. It's LeBron growing up, picking what side he wanted to be on. I think that's where, but it doesn't make me a difference because once guys get to know me, I realize this was just my job. And everybody else takes it as if they're part of that clan. You're not. When they get older and they get wiser, hopefully, and they'll realize that is just your job. It is not your life to wear those colors. You don't have to do that. And I love the Detroit Pistons. I love being a bad boy. I have a group chat to this day with the bad boys, certain number of us, that we make sure we check on each other and we're alive and we give each other the salute. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I get it. But I haven't talked to, I reached out to some guys from the Miami Heat. I think it was Keith Askins was the last one I talked to, but they don't reach out to one if I'm doing. Ronnie Cycli, I checked with him. I checked with Brian Shaw, Willie Burton, but the rest of them, they're not friends of mine. The Miami Heat is not one of my favorite place to play, but not my favorite organization at that time.